Hello everyone, welcome to the fifth video excuse me, in our introductory series of Cliffs and Caves videos for new players and people just new to Cliffs and Caves. And in these videos we're going through what the early days of a hardcore playthrough look like. Remember, in hardcore, any death is your last death. You can come back in and spectate the world, so that if you built this really cool castle, you can still show it to people, but you can't play in the game anymore, unless you hack. So we got lost in our last video and found our way back. It was a rather long video. Hope you all enjoyed it. But now that we're home, we're going to take a little look at what we've got going on here. Like I said, I did dig down to the bedrock and start a mine down there, just like we did in the other cave that we were in. So you wouldn't have to watch all of that monotonous digging again for the second time. And we've got a lot of things to do now that we're back. You can see our farm has started to bear fruit, grain as the case may be. And I think it's about time we got rid of this tree that was clogging up our farmland. Goodbye, jungle tree. In a moment, all of this stuff is going to disintegrate. You can kind of watch how fast these leaf blocks disintegrate. You can see them breaking up toward the top. In the middle, now it's easier to see now that they're not quite so thick. It goes pretty fast. Now you can break these things by hand, and that's not all that slow. But as you might remember from the dark oak video, it does take quite a while to break all of those blocks by hand, unless you're using shears. And I don't like to do that until we have a source of the mending enchantment, which will let our tools get repaired anytime we pick up XP orbs. Now if you look just above the action bar, there's a green bar with a green number in the middle, and little green bars. It's almost all the way filled up. When that fills up, I gain a level. That number in the middle of 13 is my level, and we will be using those later when we get into enchanting. Right now it doesn't do much for us other than say, hey look, I've been alive for a while without dying. Isn't that wonderful? Well, anyway, some things drop experience orbs that will increment that bar. Like when we mine coal, you may have noticed little green yellow orbs. I may show you some in a moment if you have not yet seen what they look like. Well, here we have our farm plot. Let's harvest some of this wheat and get this bread. I am harvesting the ones that are most ripe. That is the, I don't know, 4th or 5th growth stage, something like that. That is the second to latest growth stage. It's not quite ripe yet. We don't want to harvest that. That's the one just before it. These ones that are looking like this, man, we don't even want to touch those. This is the color of damp farmland, and crops on damp farmland grow faster, which is why we plant close to the water. If the farm plots are not damp, you may remember what those look like from the first video. If they stay not damp and you don't plant anything on them, then eventually they turn back into dirt, just like this. You can't grow anything on it. So we need our hoe, so we can prepare more farmland. Just like that. That is what it looks like when it's not damp. If it stays that way, that wheat will grow slower than all the rest of it. We don't want that. This stuff is finishing its maturation as we speak. We're going to want more farmland than this. We can go, we're already 4 tiles We're blocks away from the water. We don't want to go any further back. Besides, we don't want to get any closer to that hole with death. Oh, that is just, that's murder with our name all over it. All right, so let's plant this real quick while we don't waste any grow time. And there we go. Now if we want to expand our farmland, we could break all this stuff out of the way. Why aren't you cutting the wood, you ask? Well, leaf blocks that are connected to the ground don't really break either, generally speaking. I think it's supposed to be a hard rule, but I don't know, because I'm pretty sure I've seen them break even when they're attached to the ground. But I've heard they're not supposed to. Maybe those people didn't know what they're talking about. All right, so we got the tree out of the way. Let's get the dirt out of the way. We'll just do this real quick. We should make ourselves another shovel. The amount of time it's going to take me to break all that by hand will probably take less time than coming back here and making a shovel. To make a shovel, we need 2 sticks and a mineral. In this case, we're going to make a stone shovel, so we're going to use cobblestone. And this way we can dig it out faster. Much faster, even with a stone shovel. Better if we had an iron shovel, but I still don't quite feel comfortable wasting iron on a shovel. The reasons I've already mentioned. Don't worry, we found a village when we got lost. Hopefully we'll be able to find it again and get some mending real soon. All right. Nice and flat. We want that margin of 3. 2's enough, but 3 feels a little less claustrophobic, so that's what we're going to do. All right, let's get that hoe back out here. Lay down some more farmland. 4 away from the water, if you please, and thank you. Let's dig that up. And why don't we just dig all this up? Gives me a chance to show you something. All right. See this water, nice and tranquil. I can just float, nice and easy. When you dig next to water, you can see that water starts to move. That creates a flowing water block. These are source water blocks. If I grab a bucket, which I will, you can pick them up. Let's just put these in the chest. We don't need those with us. As you can see, I did a little bit of organization after our crazy little run through the land of our lostness. Let's put that there. In a moment. We'll organize it better later. We wanted the bucket. That's what we came for? Okay. So I can show you the thing with the bucket. So you can pick up water source blocks. You can put them back down, put them over here, they flow out all over the place. Put it like here, and make a little waterfall. Isn't that wonderful? Pick it up quick, and it's already getting to be nighttime. All right, so as you can see, I've got these water source blocks that I can pick up and put back down. This flowing block, I'm doing the same action button to interact, and I can't pick it up. Pick that one up, but I can't pick that one up. Then I can put a water source block there, and now it's not flowing anymore. If I don't, it's flowing. What a flowing water block does is it pushes you, as you can see. Pushes against you when you try to move through it. It pushes you back. Now, that can be a good thing. We might want that. There are lots of uses for flowing water. It's almost nighttime. We're going to sleep. It looks like nighttime, but it's not. There we go. Need to get myself a clock. Just like we have a compass here, there's a clock that tells you exactly what time of day it is. Well, pretty close to exactly what time of day it is. It's precise, but difficult to read is probably more accurate. Anyway, so something else to know about water source blocks is you can make them. You can make water. That's flowing water right there. That's also flowing water right there. So those are just flowing water blocks. They have water source blocks on one side, this side here. But if we change that, if we make water source blocks on at least two sides of a flowing water block, it will create another water source block. Actually, it doesn't technically have to be a flowing water block right here, but anyway, usually it will be. So if I dig this up, this block right here will have water source blocks on that side and on that side. So it will make a water source block right here. And then this block will have a water source block on this side and on that side. And it'll make a water source block right here. And then onward with this one. And if we wanted to, we could go down the line and do the same thing all the way to there. We're going to stop there. And you can just watch it flow across, creating water source blocks. It's kind of cool. Boop, 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 boop. Pretty cool. Anyway, so we're going to do that same thing all the way over here to make ourselves a little more farmland, because we are going to have a voracious appetite for grain. Let me just tell you now. So we're going to dig all of this up so that we can make all of this area over here into farmland. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that, as far as you please. Now, dig that up. In fact, I'm going to dig all of this up because we're going to make that into farmland. That's probably going a little overboard, but we'll eventually have far more farmland than this. Let's put that there. And then we can, that will probably let us use the rest of our seeds, which is the real reason we did this. This is going to be way more than we probably really need. Not quite. We can hold 12 more. Since we are in the mode of planting, why don't we just dig up these slow growers here? I'm going to leave that one. And now we have plenty of seeds. We can go get chickens later. Put those seeds, yeah, we'll just put them here. I'm going to show you some stuff here in the inventory. We can make all kinds of things. Check that out. We can make dye of poppies, red poppies. As you can see up here, every time we make something, if it allows us to make something else, it'll show it as unlocking. And as we go through, the tiles will pop out if there's a new recipe we've never seen before. You see how they're popping out there? I've hardly even looked through the crafting table, so almost all of them are popping out. And as you may have seen as we were scrolling, as we were looking through, there's a red candle. How cool is that? I'm going to make one of those. Not right now, I don't think. I'm pretty sure you have to find candles. At least if you can make them. I haven't figured out how to do it yet. But something you can do We can take our boring brown bed. We can come in here, put, oops, not the wheat, the bread, the bed. But the, okay, not the boring brown bed, the boring white bed. Put the boring white bed in there with some dye, and oh look, we can make a pretty red bed. Bam, red bed. So, put it next to the brown wool. We have grain now. We're starting to have a lot of stuff in here. Man, look at all this redstone dust we have. You know, there's some stuff we can do with these blocks that we have so many of. All of these blocks I just took out, I've just taken out, can be arranged in a 3x3 pattern like this to make a block of said block. So we take our redstone dust and turn it into a block of redstone. When we're making something, we can click on it once to pull it out one at a time. We can click on it multiple times to stack it up as we pull it out. Or we can just hit shift and it'll make all of it. When we click on it, make all that we can. Do the same thing with this copper. Boom, all of it. And we just unlocked a bunch of new recipes with copper. We're totally going to build a house out of copper or something. And we can do the same thing with the iron. We need a lot of iron. There are a number of recipes that require, well, not a number of recipes, but there are recipes that require iron. And at least one of them requires like 3 or 4 of them. That's to make an anvil that we're going to use to make tools later. Oh, we can still turn that coal into blocks too. Check it out. Boom. And all of these things that you could make blocks out, make into blocks. You can put the block in the crafting interface and it makes it back into the component item that made the block in the first place. We can even do that with all this wheat that we just found. Turn it into blocks of hay. But we need some food. So let's make a little bread for ourselves so we don't have to eat all of our melon slices. And let's make some seeds out of these melon slices so that we can grow more melon. Let's just make a bunch. And we can make some spots for the melon to grow, like this. This is sort of maybe a little too close, but let's get some of it growing so we can, yeah, that'll be okay. Wait. Remember what I said earlier about stuff needing to be within 4 squares of water? Let's fix that. Alright, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. We need to put one about there. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a little too far away. That's there. I guess we can let it grow and it'll give you an idea of what it's like when it is not properly hydrated. Let's see. Will that be close enough to the water to grow? 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope, didn't think so. Alright, so we put that there. The water will spread out to 4 spaces away, like we were saying before. This one actually is within 4 spaces of water, so is that one. You know what we should do? We should put it here. That should work. These things are going to grow vines that grow melons off to the side. We'll see shortly. 2, 3. That one's close enough. Some of these are going to be forced to grow this way. That's okay. It's going to make this a little messy. After it grows a few bits of melon, we'll probably try to replant them or something in a field that better meets our needs of not accidentally trampling anything, because you can trample this stuff too. No good to trample your fields. Alright, so we're growing some melon now. We have some seeds in reserve. One creeper explosion cannot ruin our entire melon operation. Let's plant these. Let's plant these. Some of them anyway. Doubt we're going to need that much. But alright, good enough. This is going to get a little clumsy over here. We're going to have to harvest that when it grows. Why don't we make some brown dye just to unlock it? Boom, brown dye. Just like we made the red dye, that would let us make a brown bed if we felt like it. We probably won't do that. And now we have more stuff that we have to find space for. Let's just make it all in the brown dye, shall we? We're in the middle of the jungle with lots of cocoa beans. Let's just save ourselves the space. And it's nighttime again. Almost. Alright. We should plant this bamboo too. Bamboo is not nearly as picky as crops. It doesn't need to grow on a farm field. But for best effect, we should give it somewhere where it has plenty of vertical room to grow. Because it'll grow up to 10 or maybe a little bit more than that. Spaces, blocks high, I should say. Oh, we do plenty. Alright. We'll just plant these here. Alright. That's 12. That's good enough for starters. We're going to want to clear some more space. There is not enough room for all of our stuff. I'm still feeling real cramped in here. Are you guys feeling cramped in here? Alright, let's plant some of the sugar cane. We're going to need some of that. And why don't we plant some of these saplings? We're going to need those too. Yeah, like that would probably work. It's already growing. Look at it go. Stuff's like grass. All right. Sugar cane has to grow near the water, like so. We try to put it over here. I'm click, 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 clicking, and nothing's happening. But I could grow it here if I wanted to. I'm not sure I will. It's going to be really cluttered over here. Yeah, well. We'll just do it for now. As I said, we are really cramped in here. So we will not be choosy. We'll put the stuff down. Find some more spots for it. Chop that out of the way. Make a little more room. Very little. There's another tree growing right there, so we're going to have to clear this out. It won't break on its own. 1, 2, 3, and one more. Let's put it, there's room. This one can grow here or here. This one can still grow there or there. All right, now we need to find some space for our trees. Let's see here. Well, the trees don't need to be close to the water, so. Where should we put them? Up here looks like a pretty decent spot. For some of them, anyway. Put that jungle tree there. Put some oak trees around where it's hard for the dark oaks to grow. That looks about right to me. One more right there. Yeah, that should work. Oak is easy to grow. Dark oak, on the other hand, needs lots of open space. I don't think we have anywhere properly cleared for it yet. Sell that shovel. We sure do. Let's make a spot. This spot's kind of okay. Chop down that tree. Let's chop down that tree. Clear the leaves, vines rather, off. Excellent. It's already breaking. Let's clear out this tree. And that was an itty bitty one space tree. Oops, I don't want to use a shovel on that, thank you. Blocks that break instantly do not break your tools, but blocks like this that do take a fraction of a second to break will slowly wear out your tools, even if they're not the right tool for the job. If it's not the right tool for the job, it won't break the block any faster. Alright. That's more than enough of that, really. Clear out some space. We need more space. Want to plant our dark oak trees. Never grown them in the jungle. Dark oak likes its forest that it grows in, but some other biomes like the savanna, which is pretty dry, not quite as dry as the desert, but pretty dry, it doesn't like to grow there as well. I've noticed that the leaf blocks don't seem to drop as many saplings when you grow them in a dry climate, at least for the dark oak. If you're growing acacia trees, or acacia trees, depending on how you want to pronounce that, they grow just fine in the savanna, as do a lot of other trees, but dark oaks are a little more sensitive. Let's break that to make sure that it will break. Alright, the rest of that should break on its own. Clear this grass out. We don't need that here. And get out of here. Ooh, jungle sapling. Nice. Alright. Why don't we level this out a little bit? We're going to have to get ourselves some better tools soon. This is fast, but it can be faster. We're still using mostly stone tools, which are not very fast. Get a good tool, we're breaking those dirt blocks, like basically we'll be breaking them instantly. Now let's build, dark oak needs some open space. This should do the job, I think. Let's build that one, plant that one rather there. Are any of these going to grow up next? Yeah. This one might be a little too close to those oak trees, the regular oaks. Those might not both grow. We can readjust later if they don't. All right, we picked up more regular oak saplings than we put down. So funny. Why don't we put this jungle sapling down somewhere? Oh, look, that jungle sapling already grew up. Why don't we put another one? Let's put it right there. That's not technically a jungle biome. Let's see how it grows. It's got enough room. What biome are we in? Minecraft River. Rather. Now it says jungle edge. Yeah, it'll probably grow fine, right? I don't see any jungle trees in the jungle edge, but we'll find out. I spent a whole lot of time in the jungle. It's a rare biome. It's not that easy to find. Alright, let's see. What else can we do before we call this video complete? Made bread. We just don't have anywhere to put all of our goods. We're going to need to make another chest here. Put that there. Okay. That'll do for now. We can figure this stuff out later. Put our tools in. That's good enough for now, I guess. So we found a little raw iron in the mine. I'm going to show that to you real quick. And maybe I should wait till the next video. We've already passed 2 nights. This is getting to be a little bit long. So in the next video, we'll get down to the mine. And I'll show you what I found down there while I was digging out a mine that looked like that one that we made in the last video. See you next time.